Okay, welcome to Time Buster Training. This is a series to inspire and inform you on your fitness and health journey. We're going to be joined by Time Buster Training tribe members, industry experts and inspirational people I've had the pleasure of working with over the time that I've been in the industry. So today we're talking to Michael. Hi, Michael.
Hi, you okay?
So he's one of our Time Buster trainers, and we're going to dig in. We've got 20 minutes on the clock. I'm going to talk to him about his fitness journey. So, hi Michael, how's things?
Not too bad, I'll be honest. Getting a bit stir crazy now.
Awesome. So just before we start, I've said you've got 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We're going to go through your fitness journey, some of the ups and downs, some advice that you probably give to other people, and what the future looks like for you. So before we start, I'm going to start the watch. It's on a Casio, a personal trainer's friend. Start, stop, reset. That's all you need.
Okay.
So off you go. So how are you doing? What's been going down? It's a Monday. How's your weekend been?
You know what? I didn't even know it was Monday, but that would make sense. It's been all right. I mean, I'm self-employed as a filmmaker, so for me, I've got a lot of editing that still needs doing before this lockdown finishes, which will put me in a better position when I go back to work. And I have this feeling, or I kind of know that a lot of businesses are going to want to promote themselves after this lockdown. So not so worried because I know that, everyone's in the same situation as me. Some are in worse situations, unfortunately. So, I'm quite lucky in that respect that I've got work to carry on with to keep my kind of work-life balance to a kind of normality, and just trying to be as creative as possible and actually find my creativity, because you know what it's like when life takes over and you're constantly working with clients. You actually run out of time to be creative and do your own thing. So it's actually been quite nice to be creative, think outside the box, and actually do some of the projects that I've been putting off for quite a while.
Yeah, fab. And I know one of those projects is your fitness and health. So this is our first interview. So you're privileged to be the first Time Buster trainer to be interviewed. So this has started. So we're really supercharging what we're doing now, because we're a month in to having the platform up and running. So tell me a little bit about your background in fitness and health.
Well, that'll only take about a minute or two. I mean, to be honest, I've not really, in terms of my own health, the only things that I've ever done in the past is I'm an avid runner. So I about a year or two ago, before I went self-employed, I actually was doing a 10K once a week, and I was doing about 2-3 miles every other night, and then resting in between. So I am an avid runner, and I know that I can get results quite quick by running, and I actually enjoy the feeling after I've done a big run. And it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's probably the easiest thing, but for me, I find it quite easy just to put some music on and actually just go running. But in terms of obviously what I eat, I think that's probably the biggest problem that I've had, because like most of us, late at night, I am someone that wants to just eat chocolate or something sweet. But I've been more mindful of what I've been eating. I'm drinking more water. I'm replacing the bacon sandwiches with yogurt and seeds and granola, and I'm being a bit more mindful. Because I'm 31 now, I've got to be a bit more mindful of what I eat. I'm not 19 anymore. So it's about doing the things now so that when I'm 70, I can still climb Snowdon. Because I think I don't want to be one of those old age pensioners that can't get out the house because they can't physically move. And it's what I do now as a 31-year-old moving forward
Mm.
that is going to be the make or break between how I end up.
Yeah, I like that. And again, that gives you a good focus. And I know, speaking to you personally as well, that kind of like this current situation gave you that light bulb moment of this is what I need to do. And when I speak to clients, sometimes they're not ready. They haven't had that realization.
Yeah.
So tell me about in the past. So when have things been bad? Like, are you able to share with us some things that you've had to struggle with?
In terms of my health, or
Fitness, health, your
um,
what?
I don't really think I've ever been in a really bad situation in terms of health or you know, lack of exercise. I've always tried. I'm quite an active person. When I used to work at Starbucks, I was constantly on my feet, and I used to do 40+ hours a week. And I had 2 jobs as well, so I was back and forth between Liverpool and Cheshire Oaks. You know, so I've always been an active person. But I would say that it's more what I eat is probably what lets me down a lot. I am someone that can put just some training shoes on, uh, and go out there and just go out for half an hour running. But I know that that's probably not the best thing to do without any kind of warm up or any kind of build up to just putting some shoes on it and going running. So I know that I'm probably, and I think that is a lack of understanding, in terms of, I want to obviously go out and run and feel better, but maybe, you know, doing it right after I've eaten a big meal is not a good idea, or it's a lack of understanding of what I should and shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. So have you just talking about, obviously, as we know, we talk about in the group about getting a structure and a routine.
Yeah,
What does a, because I always work with clients and say, let's move away from what does perfect look like.
yeah,
What does in your world, you're a business owner, you're busy, your time poor. There's a lot of people that fit into that category. What
yeah.
does good look like for you if we looked at a good week, whether that's in the past or whether that's kind of like what would good look like for you? That you'd look at yourself as a third person and be like, all right, you're doing all right.
I think it would be a case of actually getting up at 7 a.m., not editing till 3 in the morning, actually having a structure where I go to bed at a set time, wake up at a set time, actually eat the right foods that give me the energy to be uh, raring to go. So not just grabbing a bacon sandwich every single morning and having sugary coffee and feeling weighed down to the point where by the time 10 o'clock comes, oh, I just want to lie down because I'm knackered. It's actually having a body that is actually on the right stuff, that is actually making me feel good, that's giving my mindset the clarity it needs to be able to go, right, today I'm going to do this, and this. I'm going to take my filming equipment. I'm going to go to Snowdon. I'm going to film some content for YouTube because I feel good, because I actually feel good within myself. I'm eating the right foods that the body is actually going, yeah, we can do all of that, rather than feeling sluggish at 10 o'clock and actually going, oh, I won't film today, I'll do it tomorrow, and then putting it
Yeah,
off, you know, because it
yeah,
has a knock-on effect and it's a detrimental effect on how I move forward as a business owner.
yeah. Fab, you mentioned about water. You don't necessarily need to choose water, but one of the things that I would like, have you got anything, any realizations or anything that you've inputted, whether that's a routine, obviously water's quite an easy one, having a routine of food that's had a big impact that you've actually gone, I can see a difference.
Yeah, especially like, I think the breakfast in the morning has been a big thing. Like
Okay.
even this morning, you know, I got up early. I've been drinking water. I'm on my 3rd bottle of water. I've had yogurt and I've had seeds with raisins, so I don't feel weighed down. And already after this meeting, I've got another meeting after this. I did a meeting before this one now, I still feel great. I don't feel bogged down. And then this afternoon, I'm going to go for a nice 2-3 mile walk with the dog and get out in the sun. And so for me, I know that by implementing that breakfast in the morning and saying, right, at 12 o'clock, I can have something little. And then at 5 o'clock. So now I eat between 8 and 9, 12 and 1, 5 and 6. And that's just a structure that I've gone, well, they're the times in the day that I should be going, right, the body needs to eat, rather than constantly going to the fridge and just eating rubbish. But I do feel massive change. I do feel like I can achieve more, even drinking black coffee. I had milk in my coffee today because the milkman, literally, I've got like 3 to 4 pints that I haven't drunk and I need to drink them. So that's the only reason why I'm having milk in my coffee at the moment. However, you know, I worked at Starbucks for 7 years. I'm used to drinking black coffee. I like drinking black coffee. So therefore, taking milk out and actually drinking coffee and not feeling bogged down with the dairy, actually feel a lot better. But I have been debating whether I should be not going vegan, but actually cutting down on my meat consumption, because again, the body takes forever to kind of work through meat. I'm thinking, well, there's enough options out there now for me to go, right, I can eat corn. You know, my mum's a vegetarian, my sister's a vegetarian, so I have grown up eating corn as well as eating meat. But I know the difference between having a corn sausage sandwich and an actual pork sausage sandwich. And I know the difference that my body actually has a lot more energy when I'm not weighed down by eating meat. So
and it's interesting that you mentioned that as well, because what I advocate a lot of in the fitness and health industry, if you look into it, it's a minefield. There's so much advice, guidance, and I don't like to label things, and it's just finding what's right for you.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, I will cut down my meat consumption, but I probably won't go 100% vegan or vegetarian. I will eat what I mean, it's like my mum made a curry last night with just vegetables, and you know, she put a lot of flavour in it, and therefore I ate it and really liked it, and didn't feel it needed meat to make it taste really nice. So for me, it was a case of, it's been flavoured that well that I can eat this and not miss having the meat in there. But if I go out for a meal, or if I'm celebrating someone's birthday and we're going out for something to eat, I don't want to then be restricted because I've said I'm going to be a vegan or a vegetarian. I can eat a steak if I want to have a steak, because that's what I'm going out and I'm relaxing and I want to just not have to look at a menu and be limited to what I want to eat. But it's just picking and choosing your battles, isn't it, really? And actually saying to yourself, well, instead of just eating rubbish all the time, I'll moderate it. I won't go on a diet, but instead of having cans of Diet Coke, I'll have water. Instead of having a sausage sandwich in the morning, I'll have, you know, yogurt and seeds or granola. And then in the afternoon, once I've done all my work, I can have a big meal and then I can relax for the night. But it's making sure that I'm not weighing myself down in the morning, so then it jeopardizes whatever I want to achieve in that day.
Yeah, it's interesting as well, and I love the concept, and I've only come across it, and again, the wording around really focusing on what you can eat, rather than demonizing food and concentrating on what you can't no longer have. And I really don't like it when people say, I'm never going to drink Coke again, or I'm never going to eat chocolate, I'm never going to eat crisps. It's just not a good mentality and mindset to get into. And it's demonizing,
because you want it more. If you say to yourself you can't have it, like I live behind a Tesco's, and you know that at 12 o'clock at night, just before it closes, I might want some chocolate. But if I've not had chocolate for 2-3 days, then I'm entitled to go out and have some chocolate. Last night I said to myself, I had chocolate the night before, so I won't do it tonight. Whereas tonight, I've gone a day or two without it. You know, I should be able to just have, you know, the odd bit of chocolate to go, I'll have that, and not feel bad, because at the end of the day, if you stop yourself from having it, you run the risk then of just doing it more and wanting it more and craving it more, you know?
And it's working on, you're right, that moderation. And everybody's heard of the yo-yo effect when people are trying to do something or trying to implement change.
Yeah.
I like to talk about the fact that when people try and do something, improve their fitness and health, they don't realize it, but they've actually just gone 50-50.
Yeah.
And they've gone from doing 80% rubbish, 20% they're just trying to do something, and they're good now, and they go 50-50. And when we go 50-50, we're on the fence, and if anything distracts us, if we lose motivation, we just go back to our old habits. What we need to do is implement something 80% of the time. Distractions, work, life, we're all human. And that 20%, because if you do something 80% of the time, you're going to become that. And have you found, and obviously you've been with us from the start, have you found that you being more active and being in the Time Buster training community has actually made you think about, actually, no, I'm doing something, I'm on the first ladder of where I'm going?
Yeah. I think for me, it's been a case of, I've joined it because I know I want to change, and I've been saying it now for so many years. And I said to myself, oh, I can't do it in lockdown because obviously, I just, I can't pick and choose what I eat because, when you go to the shop, you've got to limit yourself to this, that, and the other. But I thought, well, if I can't do it in lockdown and I can't do it in normal life, that's just an excuse to say, oh, you're just pushing it aside all the time because there's always a reason why you can't do something. But by just doing it and going, well, do you know what? It's either now or never. I know that by joining that group, there is accountability to do it. And, there's times when, we're doing, the fifth exercise in a rhythm, and I literally, my back is killing, or but I say to myself, well, you're only letting yourself down if you take the easy way out and don't do it. By doing it and hurting, it will only get better the more you do. And I sit there and I think, how does Stu do this day in, day out? It's like, because he's done it for so long, it's become second nature. It's not as hard for him than it is for me. So by working through the pain and actually working through the bits that you don't like means that it will only ever get easier from that point on. So you've got to work through the pain to enjoy the fact that when it becomes less of a chore, that the body's actually changing and adapting. And I can't wait to see that transformation between big beer belly to actually I can see my toes.
Yeah. How have you found the group dynamic? How have you found it with the people in the group?
Good. I've, a couple of them have added me on LinkedIn and Facebook, and it's nice to know that it's a bit of a networking environment as well, because the people that are on your workouts are people that have businesses, or people that are doing this, that, and the other. So it's nice because you can always share and connect with people, and you never know where a conversation might lead. So in that respect, it's a bit like networking at the same time, and there are benefits within that as well. But also it's knowing that you're not on your own, and that there are other people in the same situation, because right now I don't look great in my mind, but that's the reason why I'm there.
Yeah. That's fab, and that's been one of my big drivers, and that's what I'm really proud about, that I created in the Time Buster, the Star Bootcamp, which is where we originated from.
Yeah.
Because the power and the confidence I had with somebody, if I spoke to somebody and they were really underconfident, they weren't happy with how they looked, they just were not in a great place, I knew that as soon as they came into the group, and again, the Time Buster training, it's been really good how the Zoom and this platform has allowed people to actually connect with people. But I'm confident that people are surrounded by like-minded people, and hopefully these interviews are going to be part of that connection.
100%. And you know what? You're not on your own, because the reason why we're doing it is because we're all in the same situation. We all want the same result. So we can all relate to that. And I hope by somebody watching this, they'll go, well, actually, I've wanted to do this for so long. I'm just going to do it. Just get in the group. Everybody is in the same situation. And there is always strength in numbers. And I know that when I miss a meeting, I know that I'll be thinking, well, I need to catch up with that because I want to make sure that I'm ready for the next one that we do. so that I'm not then feeling behind, because obviously you've got a rhythm and a system that you obviously, a format that you're doing. I don't want to then be struggling a week or two down the line because I didn't do weeks 2 and 3, or, so there is an emphasis to make sure that today I will look back at that recording that I missed today, and I will own that, and I will go and do it,
Awesome.
and it's nice. Go on.
I'm going to put you on the spot. So you've got 1 minute left.
Yeah.
What does the future look like for you?
Very bright. I think if I keep on doing what I'm doing now, there is no room for error. I think I will continue to change the little habits. I mean, it's a silly little habit, but changing these little habits and making sure that, I'm doing what I can do with what I've got at the moment. I know that it'll get easier the more I do. So you've got to work through the pain to enjoy the rewards at the end.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time today,
My
Michael.
pleasure.
If anybody's enjoyed that, make sure you comment below. Make sure you hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. And you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram through Time Buster Training. And please reach out. There's loads of links on there for you to join us and follow us. But please reach out to me, and I can have a chat to you, and you can come on into our private group. So take care, guys. See you soon.